Hey, it's Jill from Glimmerbug, and today I wanted to work on a card. I usually make a bunch of different cards, and I keep them in my card. I have like a card box in my office, and that way, if I've got a birthday coming up, or that kind of thing, I can just go grab out of the card box. So today, sadly, I have to do a sympathy card, and my oldest child, her very, very favorite teacher that she's ever had. His wife just passed away from a long battle with cancer, so she wanted to send a card. So I said, all right, you go to school, I will work on a card and we'll send that off to him today. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do a quick card. I think I'm going to stick with blues and purples for this. You don't want to do, or at least I don't like to do, super bright colors. So I'm just going to do a bunch of squares on here in different shades of blues and purples. And then I'm going to draw like a little botanical in each one. That's kind of my go-to sympathy card kind of a thing. I like to make it nice, but I don't want to, make it too flashy or overwhelming. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just mixing up some blues and some purples, making it a little grayish purple. I can hear my chair squeaking. Can you hear my chair squeaking? It's between that and my little pug puppy who's under my desk. He's working on a little bony bone. So if you hear ringling, jingling, or chair squeaking, that's all we got going on here. I should probably oil this thing up a little bit, but I don't know where my WD-40 is. So yeah, I'm just going to do this little card and then wait for my little darling to get home and she can write it up for this guy. He was her favorite English teacher, and he retired last year to care for his ailing wife, who, from the sounds of it, was just a lovely person. So it's kind of sad, and I could always, run over to the Dollar Tree or the grocery store and grab a card, but I don't know. I like doing a handmade card. I think it gives it a little more sentimental, thought. Sentimentality, I don't even know if that's a word. So I'm just kind of doing all different size squares, and then once it's dry, I'll draw like a little, plant or flower, or I might not do it in every single one, but let's see, I'm just mixing some blues and some purples and some grays into my palette just to get a different tone. And I'm not being super cautious about like sizing or spacing. I want it to be kind of loosey-goosey. I'm just using a size 8 brush, nothing fancy. This is just one of the little cheapy ones I got on Amazon, but it works fabulous. So, and then I'll print off a little thing that says like in sympathy or with sympathy or thinking of you. I don't have it in my office here, but I usually keep a little thing on my card making area so that I can just quick grab a sentiment to put on a card. But I don't think I have any sympathy. I don't keep a lot of sympathy cards in stock because, I don't know, I think it's a little kind of too sad to keep that stuff around, so I tend to make sympathy cards as needed, not to have them in stock. I don't know. It's kind of my thing. I was never one to even send a lot of sympathy cards until both of my parents cashed it out. And then I got a lot of sympathy cards. And I'm like, that's really nice. So I changed my tune on that. It does make you feel like people are thinking of you, and it's nice to have. But you always feel sad when it's somebody so young and, you know, you haven't had a chance to have grandkids yet, or, you know, probably just retired. I don't really know anything about her, but, you know, like I figure my parents got until their early 80s, and I felt lucky, you know. They did a lot. So I'm just going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do some little doodles on it, like some little botanicals. So I'll be back. I'm just going to let this dry. All right, so let's do some drawing. Actually, I think I might grab my pencil first before I put down my ink. So I'm just going to take my pencil out, and I'm going to lightly sketch some little botanicals. I don't know. Can you see that? This just gives me a little bit more of an idea of where I want to put things, and then I'm not going to be stressed out if I make mistakes by using the pencil first. So that's what I've got going on. And I'm just going to try to keep the shapes as simple as I can. So see, I've got like little leaves, the leaves. Let's see, how about maybe I'll do one that's like kind of like Lily of the Valley. Like little bells. So it's got like little bells, knobs kind of things to it. This one, let's see, how would I do one that's like more leafy shape? I've got little pug Leonard under my desk, and he's playing with the bony bones. If you're clicking around, that's him. So some leaves. How about maybe this one? I'll do just like a flower, like a kind of a tulip. Maybe I'll do two because it's kind of a long stem. You'll see these better when I go over them with my pen. How about here? We do maybe another flower. I'll do maybe, maybe one that has like little heart petals. I did it kind of off to the side, so it kind of gives it a little asymmetrical look. He's crashing around with that little bony down here. Maybe this one I'll do maybe like a center, kind of a center stalk, and then I'll do some little like 3 petal flowers. And then add in a couple more. That's kind of cute. This one, maybe I'll just do like a viney. And I'll just do some with some circles or berries. See, I'm trying to keep it really simple. I don't need any stress trying to draw flowers for a sympathy card. Nobody needs that. How about this one? I'll do 2, like a little V, and I'll do kind of some teardrop shapes. Leonard, my goodness. I think this bone is a little too big for him. He's just got a tiny little mouth because he's only 6 months old, but the bone is like this big, and his little mouth is like this big. All right, last one. How about, maybe I'll do, this is a flower here, a flower here. I'll put maybe a flower here, and I'll do one that's kind of got some more pointed shape. There, so there's 2 leaves. Okay, so now I can take my pen out and I'll feel better about committing to my my shapes, because sometimes when you do things like that you get a little nervous, at least I do, and I figure putting the pencil down first is not a bad thing. When I was a little kid, I'd get up early in the morning to watch this show called Captain Bob, and it was this like sea captain guy, and he would draw pictures of animals, and it was like a half an hour show, and he had this nice, kind of relaxing voice about him. And I'd get up early in the morning. It was like 6:30 in the morning. I'd get up I had like a pad, like a legal pad from where my dad worked. He'd always bring home legal pads for me to draw on, so I'd always have that as my drawing paper, and I would always try to follow along as Captain Bob would draw his, I don't even remember. It was mostly like forest creatures, like say a squirrel or a, bear or something like that. And he would do it so fast, and he would not use pencil first. And then I'd get so mad, and I would just scribble on the paper because his always came out so perfect, and I'd be like 10 steps behind. Yeah, I would get kind of pissed off at Captain Bob. Yeah, and then you can just add like little details, like maybe you want to put in some little dots. It's kind of a relaxing project now that Leonard isn't smacking his bone all over the place. He wants to be a big dog, but he's just little. He's only 6 months old, so he's just a little guy. And he tries to be a tough guy, especially when it comes to like the older dogs, because they're bigger than he is, but they can beat the crap out of him. Which they don't. They're good girls. They're very good big sisters. And see, I'm kind of going off on where my plan was to do these berries because I don't have to follow exactly the pencil line because I'm going to erase it anyway. I think this shape is my favorite. I like that one. This bell one is cute though. It's like a lily of the valley. I can always remember being a little kid in Connecticut visiting my grandfather, and he used to go out and play catch with my brother. There was a little kind of a park near his house that we could walk to, and I sat underneath a Christmas tree. Well, I guess it was kind of like a Christmas tree. I sat underneath like a big pine tree kind of a thing, and they were lily of the valleys, and I had no idea what they were. And I remember asking my mom, and she was like, "Oh, those are Auntie Lulu has their favorite flower, other than pansies, is lily of the valley," and that's what it was. So I just think of that with lily of the valley, and they're pretty invasive around here. So I need to, when I have them, my neighbor gave me some, so I keep them in a container so they don't kind of grow all over Hell's Half Acre. You can just add little lines here and there if you want. Give it a little personality. I hope that the teacher likes this. And there's family. Sad thing to lose somebody so young. And I'm reading her obituary, and God, she sounds like a lovely person. Somebody that you like think, God, I wish I knew that person. There. All right, so my lines are done. Actually, you know, I think I'm going to add some lines to this one just to give it a little something. Might as well, right? Kind of breaks up the plainness of that little leaf. Yeah, I like that. I like that. All right, so I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to erase my pencil marks. And then you can go in, like, you know, you can even add a little glitter, like some glitter glue. I always like adding a little glitter glue, so I probably will do that once this is over. But this is a nice little card, and then I'll just put, like, with Sympathy or Thinking of You or something on the front. So there's our sympathy card that will head off to our teacher friend to express our sadness for the loss of his wife. So if you need to make some cards, this is a good sympathy card to create with some easy watercolors.